Record.
All right, is he in?
Yes, he's in because I don't see any attempted to connect sign. So
You should
Here
be
I
good.
am.
Hey, all right, Harry's in. All right, we now have a quorum. Good evening, everybody. I'm Marilyn McDonald, Chair of Bridgewater Conservation. Sorry for the delay. I'm going to go right into reading the notice and go right into this agenda, which is not long. So pursuant to Massachusetts Section 20, the Acts of 2021 and Act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, in the meeting of Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be held hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune into the meeting may do so via Zoom. Just to quickly let you know, if you haven't been to a conservation meeting before, Bridgewater Conservation has a 100-foot jurisdiction from the wetlands and a 200-foot jurisdiction from any riverfront. We are governed by both rules and regulations of both state and local bylaw to ensure that those stay within place of the footage and meets performance standards. The applicant presents. After the applicant presents, the board and the agent then have an opportunity to ask questions. I do open questions to the public, and I ask that they are kept to wetland questions only. We either do two things. We either close a hearing or we continue a hearing. If we close a hearing, we have 21 days to render a decision. You then have 10 business days to appeal once the order of condition is issued through Mass DEP. If we continue, we will give you a notice at that meeting time that we have continued. That being said, I am opening the meeting with new business, notice of intent, 0 Grange Park, map 86, lot 91. Do we have notification, Nicole, and green cards?
Sorry, I'm on mute. Yes, I believe so. If I'm mistaken, please correct me, but we got the green cards last meeting, so I believe those still stood because they didn't have to re-notify abutters. However, I do have the new meeting notice to be read out loud. I can read it or I can put it on the screen.
Nope, that'd be great if you can read it, honey. Thank you.
Oh, what a pleasure, Marilyn. All right. Thanks for the honor. I'm so excited. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Sorry, I just shifted out of my thing. All right. Notice of Public Hearing, Conservation Commission, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, in the Town of Bridgewater Local Wetland Bylaw, the Bridgewater Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on April 28, 2022, for a notice of intent filed by Robert Cormier. The applicant proposes construction of a single-family home with driveway, utilities, and associated grading within the buffer zone to a bordering vegetative wetland. The property is owned by Sandra Alley Investment Trust and is located at 0 Grange Park, Bridgewater, Mass, map 86, parcel 91. Please contact the Bridgewater Conservation Office at 508-697-0950 for the time and location or link for virtual participation. All interested persons are encouraged to attend.
Okay, thank you. You will now open. It is Silver Engineering. Rebecca,
It is. I am
Yes.
here.
There you are.
Who would like to put the plan on the screen?
I can do it for you.
Woohoo.
One sec, hold on.
We have here a single family home on a lot greater than an acre. It's about 1.3 acres. Whoa.
I think there we go. It clears up.
Okay, we're good?
Yep.
All right. So we have municipal water. We have an on-site septic located to the front of the building. We have grading. We have a pool for the future. We have a fence, which we did modify the location of the fence to address some concerns that the conservation agent had addressed with me prior. So we did get that in there. The homeowner was willing to make those concessions for the fence. It is a 5-bedroom dwelling. We are only disturbing about 45% of the greater than 1 acre parcel, although that is mostly the 100-foot buffer. Ken Thompson of 5 Wetlands did flag this back in November, and then we did perks in March, and we are here hoping to build a single family home.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. I was actually in the office today. I did bending over, grabbing these plans. I do have the revised plans as of 4/18. I really don't have any issues or any further thing. I'm going to give this to Steve, who I know was out there with Wendy. So like I said, I have the revised plans on. No further questions on my end. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. So thank you. But So getting to this, Rebecca had mentioned that the initial plan showed in the backyard, the extension of the fence basically down to the 25-foot buffer zone, and it wrapped all the way around that back area, almost coinciding with the siltation barrier. So in the meantime, between what happened at the last meeting and this meeting, I spoke with both the homeowner and the representative about trying to bring that area back, because I figure what that area will end up being is a lawn area associated with a swimming pool. And with the wetland being that close, I would prefer that any treatment of any fertilizers that may go on that lawn be given enough room to actually be treated as they trickle over the extended 50-foot buffer zone rather than 25. That extra 25 does give it a little bit more room to be treated as it's naturally filtering down to the wetland. Other than that, that was my only concern with this lot. It's a tight lot based on the way it's sited. You can see the house is actually angled towards the road in a way that is juxtaposition as we typically see them to the street front. The septic system is in the driveway or right next to the driveway, and then there's a garage into the home. The home right next door is basically right next door, very close. There's not much of a tree line, so I figure there'll be some privacy fencing put in there along the outer edge there with the arborvitae screening on the other side. All in all, it's a project that meets all the performance standards of the Wetlands Protection Act regarding bordering vegetated wetland. This bordering vegetated wetland eventually leads back to Snows Brook. So anything that comes off this site eventually will end up at Snows Brook and filter its way down to the major rivers downstream. So that's why I was a little bit concerned about the amount of area in the backyard. But again, as Rebecca mentioned, the homeowner was very agreeable in shrinking the size of that. And I think this is a good compromise between both the commission and the homeowner. They're getting a bit of what they wanted and fitting it more appropriately within the regulations of both the state and the town.
Okay, great. Thank you, Steve. I'll now go to the board. Harry, any comments on this filing?
No, what Steve did was fine. I like it, so
Okay.
I'll
thought you
agree
would.
to it.
All right, Eileen, any comments?
Same thing. I'm glad he brought it back down for the fertilizer. That's good.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this new plan. All right, anybody in attendance that has a question on Zero Grange Park map 86 lot 91, please. Nicole, let me know if there's anybody raising their hand on that.
It looks like Mr. Cormier would like to say
Yes,
something.
please. Thank you all for your feedback. I was very happy to bring the fence back. If that was the only comment. The one question I do have, in that 25-foot space on the other side of the fence, in between the fence and the 25-foot buffer, are there any restrictions what to do there if it's not grass? And what I was, if I want to put gravel there or something so it doesn't get overgrown up against the fence, is that allowable, or is that just you don't touch that space?
Anything in that area would likely have to come back as an amended order.
Okay.
So it would depend. I mean, if you want to, I would not probably recommend gravel. If we're talking about more of a naturalized area with maybe some plantings that are appropriate for the area from an aesthetic standpoint, I could see that happening or be able to suggest something like that.
Yeah.
But that 25-foot buffer zone is important not only for the filtration of the water coming off the site or the surface runoff, but also the wildlife habitat value as you lead back towards Snows Brook. So trying to pull that fence back, the main purpose was the fertilizer use or potential fertilizer use, and then secondary to that was the wildlife habitat value.
Understood. So from a grading perspective with the site work contractor, basically they only need to grade up to where that fence line is and not touch past it.
Right, and then they'll be stabilizing the site, and I imagine will come back pretty naturally with whatever decides to come down off the canopy layer of trees that's in the area. But if there is something that you want to propose in the future as the project's going along, you can always certainly entertain an amended order for a planting plan back there, but that would have to be approved by the same commission.
Understood. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Anybody else with a comment on Zero Grange Park, please? Map 86 lot 91. See anything, Nicole?
I don't see anything else.
All right. At this time, Chair would entertain a motion to close, please.
I will make a motion to close on Zero Grange Park.
Second.
All right, here in a second, any further discussion?
Nope.
Aaron, none. Roll call vote. Mary McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
I'd also entertain a motion at this time. Given where we couldn't read this right away, it would be a motion for approval.
Sure, I'll make a motion for an approval of Zero Grange Park.
And I'll second it.
All right, here in a second, any further? Okay, roll call vote. Mary McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
Aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Thank you.
All right, do we have Jennifer on?
Yes, you do.
Okay, all right. Good evening, Jennifer. Hon.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Moving into the next under conservation business is enforcement of Vernon Street. So do we have a representative for Vernon Street on, Mr. Kravitz or somebody else for Mr. Kravitz? Nicole, did he ever reach back at this point?
I have not heard back at this point. I did send two follow-up an email and a follow-up, and I haven't heard back. And I do not see any hands raised at this time either, Marilyn.
All right, so I think, Jennifer, I'll hand it to you at this point, but at this point, I think we've given ample notice, ample time. The last meeting, we had a plan set that, now is the time of the season to put the fencing in, the barrier and put that back to where it was from us. So Jennifer, I'll let you speak at the moment and then we'll kick back in, but.
Sure. Yes, at the last time we spoke with Mr. Kravitz, which I believe was in February, mid-February at some point, he indicated he wanted to work with us and take care of the, pile of loam and dirt when the weather got nicer during the spring, and the commission was willing to work with that and gave him some time and expected him to start work at this point. As you all know, that has not happened. The commission did issue an enforcement order on February 10th of this year, and did indicate to Mr. Kravitz that if the work was not done, that they would begin some fines. So at this time, I would suggest, having not heard from Mr. Kravitz at all, what his position is regarding the situation, that the commission could start to issue fines at $100 a day, and I would suggest that they issue those retroactively back to the start of the enforcement order, which was February 10th, which I believe we counted today. That was so far 62 days, which would be $6,200 to date.
Okay, great. Yep, I mean, gave a chance, nobody's here, so yes, I'll let the other commissioners speak, but at this point, I think we're at the point where we need to stop finding. I am fine with finding, and I thank Jen for doing that research on how to proceed with that. So Harry, any follow-up?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, and Eileen, any follow-up on that?
The only thing I have any concern about is going retroactive. That's a lot of money for somebody without did we already reach out to see if he was going to make it to this meeting, and did we send him a certified letter? That's a lot of money.
We didn't send him a certified letter. We did reach out 2 or 3 times to him over the last couple weeks, and we did not hear any response at all. But if you're happy, we could certainly wait and send him another letter certified. Certified doesn't seem to work for him, so we've been having luck sending another constable out. If you'd like, we could do another constable mailing to him, if that's what you prefer. That's just my suggestion. If you want to start the fines from today, we're happy to do that as well. The maximum fines the commission can issue under the Wetlands Protection Act is $25,000 in total. So that would be the maximum in total.
I'm just thinking, remembering back that he had a quadruple bypass and he was very ill. So I don't know if we should cut him a little bit of slack, maybe, but that's up to everybody, not just me. So that's just my thoughts, because he's not the actual person that did the pile, but he is the owner of the property. So I kind of feel you can't do anything about the applicant because he's not responsible. Wendy just texted me. She forgot.
And I think there's been ample time and
All right,
notification. And
whatever.
I also think that a representative could be be in.
Yes,
So I
you're
think the
right.
amount of time, you know, we've given that grace. And as a nurse, I'm saying I completely understand, you know,
Yeah.
surgeries and stuff, but we've also given time to, if you can't physically make it, there's, you know, people that can come in for you. So
No, I
um,
agree with that. I totally agree with that. I just didn't know if you. I didn't.
we've got it, this pile has been there way too long. It needs to be addressed. And if, you know,
I see it every day more than you guys.
you know,
I'm just saying, I didn't know if you wanted to go retroactive. That's all.
Eileen, can I?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
I've been on the board the longest and we have passed, we did find somebody $18,000 in Bridgewater. And this will get his attention.
Yes.
I guarantee you'll hear from him.
Oh, I guarantee you that. Yep.
All right, so
Okay.
I have no issues with Rector, given the amount of time we've asked to work with them. And, you know, given the last meeting that, hey, you know, we need to start in the good weather, and that was that simple. So, at this time,
So can I-
I'm recommending, a fine, retro, since the, notice was sent out February 10th. So Chair would entertain a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the enforcement action with the $100 retroactive to February.
second,
All right, in a second.
And I'm sorry, is that motion to continue the fine for $100 per day until till the enforcement is completed, till the
Yes.
remediation is completed?
Yes.
Up to your
And-
maximum allowable of $25,000, obviously.
Correct.
Right.
And then Jen, if that has to be hand delivered by a constable after tonight's,
We will,
then-
yeah, we will. Mhm.
Okay, all right, very good.
All right.
Okay, roll call vote, Marilyn McDonald, aye. Harry Bailey,
aye.
Eileen Prisco.
Aye.
All right, Jennifer, I thank you very much for your assistance in that matter.
You're welcome.
All right, Nicole, I didn't see any, meeting minutes. Did I miss them, or are they just?
No,
on
you
vacation?
you didn't miss them. Again, I can't travel, okay, Marilyn, I promise, I won't do it again. So I'll have them for you.
No, you need to travel. Travel brains are good, refresh brains, but I'm like, all right, they're there. Maybe that's just a,
Nope, just a
template.
light load tonight. They'll be on your next meeting. You'll
Love
be in
it,
for it. You'll have
love
two
it.
now.
I wasn't gonna, you know, it didn't seem, no problem. All right.
Okay.
Anything further under discussion, for Steve?
Yeah, I've got a couple, just updates on a couple other issues that we've been sort of looking at, and I know you guys are aware of. One being the potential violation over on 1361 Vernon Street. That one's in a holding pattern for now. The gentleman is trying to get a survey team out to post his property so he understands where he is on his property. There's a small wetland located on the property. Right as of right now, he hasn't had any adverse effect on that wetland, but if he were allowed to continue, he may. So I just stopped him and said, you know, once you get the parcel staked out, then we can kind of come together and tell you, make decisions on where some of the wood can be stored on his property. It's right down the street from the other place they cut wood, right out the corner there of Vernon and Green. And then the other one was Bedford Street. I did hear back from the gentleman with the storage of landscape materials. And he will be attending a meeting. I spoke with him today. He has decided to come in and appear in front of the commission the second Thursday in May. So I'll make sure that gets on the agenda and posted, but expect that to come down. So if you guys need to do a site walk out there and see it, I know most of you have seen it, but if anyone hasn't, we can go out there and take a look.
Where is that, Steve?
Familiar with the site. Right on
Bedford
Bedford, right next to the gym.
Right next to the gym, so we want to make sure that
Yes. Oh,
there's
yeah.
no activity there.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
we see
Well-
activity there, please notify Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, those
All
are
right.
the only two things. And then also one last thing, the Home Nook letter we sent out for the ATV use and dirt bike use. We got quite the number of calls back on that. And it seems like we're starting to get some information about who may be responsible. So we're sort of still working through the weeds on that one.
Excellent.
So we should have some more information as we start to hear back from even more people, and then start to circle the properties that may be responsible for the adverse impact.
Okay, great. Appreciate that. Okay. So that wraps it, Steve? Anything further?
That's it for me. Yep.
Okay, all right. Then at this time, any members have anything they want to discuss?
Nope.
Okay, then Chair would entertain a motion, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you very much, all. Have a great evening.
Thanks for waiting for me.
You're gonna get a talking to. No.
Yeah, call me. I get,
Bye.
Have a good night, guys.
yep, good night.